Welcome to AI Verdict. Today, we're diving into a massive shift happening in the AI landscape right now. You see, the era of friendly competition, it's over. What we're witnessing is the beginning of a full-blown platform war. This is the story of how AI stopped being just a helpful tool and became a territorial battleground.
Yeah, I know, that sounds a little dramatic, but the evidence is seriously piling up. What we're seeing isn't just about who can build the smartest model anymore. Oh no. It's about securing territory, controlling entire ecosystems, and basically locking down the future of how we all interact with technology. This is it. This is the start of the war.
So what flipped the switch? Well, it wasn't just one thing. It was three huge developments that all signaled this massive change. First, Google just gave its AI the power to actually buy things for you. Then, Apple and Google formed an alliance that almost nobody saw coming. And finally, one of the biggest AI labs just started openly cutting off its competitors. Let's break each one down.
Okay, first up, Google. They just launched something with a very corporate-sounding name, the Universal Commerce Protocol. And yeah, I know, the name is a total snooze fest, but trust me, what this thing does is a massive deal. It gives AI real, tangible economic power.
So here's the bottom line. Google wants its AI, Gemini, to handle your shopping from start to finish. We're not just talking about it researching products or giving you some links. Nope. We're talking about the AI literally making the purchase for you, all inside one single conversation. And this slide, man, it just lays it out so perfectly. Before, AI was kind of like your research assistant, a helper. It did the thinking part, but you still had to do the action part. Now, it's an agent. It checks the stock in real time, it finds and applies discounts, and then it actually hits the buy button. That line between thinking and doing, it's just gone.
Just look at how this process works now. It's so profound. You're not really shopping anymore, you're delegating. You just say something like, hey, get me a good laptop that's under $1,200, and Gemini just does it. No more 20 tabs open, no more bouncing between sites, no more getting distracted and abandoning your cart. That is the moment AI gets real power.
Now, you'd think retailers would be freaking out about this, right? But here's the twist. The big guys are all on board. We're talking Walmart, Target, Shopify, Etsy. Why? Because Google's not trying to become the store. The retailers still control their own inventory and pricing. The AI just makes it way easier for you to buy from them. For them, it cuts out all the friction that kills most sales. It's a win-win.
And this is where you can start to see the shockwaves coming. Think about it. The moment we start trusting the AI to just get me a good one, what happens to that whole ecosystem of review sites, comparison blogs, and affiliate marketers? Their entire business model, which relies on us doing the research, could be in serious trouble. All right, on to Act 2. And this one is a partnership that honestly would have sounded completely insane just a few years ago. Apple and Google, two of the fiercest rivals in tech history, put out a joint statement announcing a huge deal.
And we are not talking about some small trial run here. This is a multi-year commitment. Apple is officially building its next generation of AI, the core of what they call Apple Intelligence, and a much smarter Siri, on top of Google's Gemini models and cloud technology.
So the big question is, why Google? Why not just double down on its partnership with OpenAI? Well, it really comes down to what Apple values most: rock-solid reliability at an insane scale. They don't want the flashiest new thing. They want something that just works flawlessly for, a billion iPhones. And the key here is that Google is providing the engine, the brains, but Apple keeps 100% control over the experience. And for anyone worried about privacy, which, let's face it, is a huge part of Apple's brand, they were super clear. The models are still going to run on Apple's own hardware and inside their own private cloud. Apple is keeping its famous privacy-first stance because they're still the ones in the driver's seat, controlling the whole interface. So, where does this leave OpenAI? Well, Apple says ChatGPT is still integrated for certain things. But come on, let's be real. When one model becomes the foundation layer, it completely changes the long-term balance of power. This is a fundamental shift in leverage.
And that brings us to our third and final act, the climax of the story. Because this one isn't about a deal or a fancy new feature. This is the first real shot fired in the AI war. This is open conflict. The era of everyone playing nice in the AI sandbox is officially over. Anthropic, the company behind the Claude AI models, just started blocking its direct competitors from using its tech.
Not regular folks, but employees at rival companies, like Elon Musk's XAI. One day they could use it, the next day, access denied.
And this isn't just a rumor. We have the receipts. An XAI co-founder, Tony Wu, literally posted in an internal chat that they'd been cut off. And his reaction says everything. He's like, yeah, this thing's in the short term, but it's just going to force us to build our own tools even faster.
Now you gotta look at it from Anthropic's side too. This is a cold, calculated business move. They're trying to position themselves as the enterprise-first, safety-first option. So the last thing they want is rivals using their own tech to train a competing model or to build the next big thing. This is a defensive move to protect their turf.
You know, if you've been around the tech block for a while, this whole playbook should look really familiar. It's the classic platform lifecycle. You start open and collaborative. Then you start making exclusive deals with partners. And finally, you build walls. With this move, we have officially entered phase 2.
Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. You've got Google weaving its AI into the very fabric of how we buy things. You've got Apple choosing its foundational partner for the next decade, and you have major players actively trying to kneecap each other. These are not random, isolated events. They're all part of a much bigger story.
And honestly, I think this slide says it all. The early days of this AI boom felt like this awesome community garden, right? Everybody was sharing their tools, their seeds, just to see what cool stuff would grow. But now we're in the age of industrial estates. High fences are going up, the gates are being locked, and everything is becoming strictly guarded territory.
And that's really the final verdict here. The competition isn't just about building a smarter AI anymore. It's about AI getting territorial. The ultimate prize now isn't the best algorithm, it's control. Control of the user interface, control of the data, control of the entire platform.
Which leaves all of us with one really critical question to think about. As these giants build their walls and stake their claims in this new AI platform war, who actually gets to decide who wins?